Baku perhaps wasn't at its most brilliant best, but it certainly threw a few spanners into the works when it comes to Ferrari's title hopes and Mercedes' porpoising problems. And there's plenty to look at as we break down the last of the discussion out of Azerbaijan. I'm Ollie Wilson for GPFans, and here's our special on what we learnt on the streets of Baku last Sunday. Remember to hit the subscribe button down below to stick with us for the whole of the 2022 season. We're building up to Canada, of course, this week. But now let's find out what we learnt from Baku. More heartbreak for Charles Leclerc, who was forced into retirement from the lead for the second time in 3 races after suffering from gremlins at the Spanish Grand Prix 2 races ago. In Baku, the victory was not as comfortably secure though, with Red Bull on an aggressive strategy, a 9-lap tyre overlap that promised a potentially thrilling conclusion to the race, but one we were denied. In the end, there was no thrilling climax as Leclerc pulled across to the left-hand side of the long start-finish straight with plumes of smoke trailing from his F1 75. Not only were points lost, critical engine components will also have been damaged beyond repair, meaning grid penalties will be inevitable. Add to this Carlos Sainz's hydraulic issue on lap 9, and all of a sudden the Scuderia sits 80 points adrift of Red Bull in the constructors' battle, a chasm even at this stage in the season. George Russell began the weekend by claiming F1 may need to rethink the current technical regulations given the vigour of the porpoising affecting some of the grid. By the end of it, teammate Lewis Hamilton was barely able to climb from the cockpit of his W13, holding his back as he straddled the halo. The 7-time champion was in clear discomfort when talking to the media post-race, grimacing his way through questioning, still holding his back. Team principal Toto Wolff cast doubt on Hamilton's participation in Canada immediately after the race, such is the effect of the bouncing, although that has been cleared up and Hamilton will be racing this coming weekend. The question is, was Barcelona just a one-off fix for the team, or is the bouncing purely track and surface specific for Mercedes? That could be crucial if they're to get themselves back in any sort of constructors' battle this season. If you ask Christian Horner after the Monaco Grand Prix if there were to be any imminent team orders between Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez, he'd have said no. But Red Bull instructed the Mexican driver not to fight against the hard-charging reigning world champion, who went on to win the race in Baku and extend his championship lead. The call was not as egregious as previous displays of teamwork, however, with Perez struggling on his rear tyres after a setup direction geared towards qualifying left him with worse degradation than Verstappen. In the end, it was a simple case of avoiding a repeat of the Verstappen-Danny Ricciardo crash at the same venue in 2018. And with the gap open to Ferrari so commandingly, the team's move was certainly vindicated. Make no bones about it, what Sebastian Vettel is achieving in the Aston Martin at the moment is nothing short of incredible. The AMR22 is by no means the most competitive of Formula One's midfield, and the newest specification brought in Barcelona is still in its infancy compared to rivals' setups, with Monaco and Baku not providing the Silverstone-based team with optimum opportunity to fine-tune their package. Yet Vettel scored in Monaco and continued that form with a stunning drive in Azerbaijan. The German was as aggressive as the driver that clinched 4 world championships at the beginning of the last decade, and was not deterred by a lap 13 excursion at turn 3. Credit must also be given to Aston Martin's team strategy, which navigated virtual safety cars perfectly on the way to Vettel's 6th place finish. The beginning of the season was full of retirement speculation for Vettel. If he continues performing as he is now, coupled with his off-track activism, then we can only hope he's around for a few more years to come. George Russell's complaints about the porpoising led to a debate in the drivers' briefing in Baku over whether tweaks could be made to the technical regulations going forward. It's not just Mercedes struggling with the issue, as Haas and AlphaTauri in particular are unable to get on top of the bouncing, leaving their drivers in a lot of pain. But Horner suggests that teams were urging their drivers to bitch about the issue, implying that those struggling to get to grips with the problem were seeking an easy way out. Given Hamilton's condition, it is a big claim to make, but then stranger things have happened in this sport. There is a debate that will rumble on and will continue to switch between one way and the other until eventually one side has to give way. So that's everything we learned from the streets of Baku, but what will Montreal bring us this coming weekend? We'll give you all of the build-up on GPFans.com, GPFans Global on Twitter and Instagram as well, and including our TikTok channel too, and of course hit subscribe to stick with us for the whole of the 2022 season here at the channel.